Hey Frosties! Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Miss Jones. I'm sorry it's really bright right here. I guess if I stand right here you can kind of see me a little better. It's still daylight. Sometimes I record this at night, so sorry if you can't really see my face very well. Maybe I'll stand over here. So today what we're going to do is we're going to make sugar cookies, yay! And then on Thursday, Friday, we are going to decorate them. So today we're just going to make the dough. So we're going to make the dough, cut them out, and then we're going to bake them. So first what we need to do is make our dough. A couple of things that we're going to need are right here. So we have our sugar, flour, baking powder, salt, vanilla, and then butter. So my butter is softened. I let it sit out overnight so that I could just use it right away. So it's nice and soft. It's still pretty firm. That's what you want. You can soften it in the microwave, but you just need to be very careful that it doesn't melt. So you put it in for 10 seconds. Put it in for 10 seconds. Flip it upside down and then put it in for another 10 seconds and it should be good. Be very careful though because it tends to melt and so it could get all over your microwave. And I have had one too many melted sticks of butter in the microwave and I still do it. So be careful if you're going to do it that way. Just make sure it's softened so that it incorporates a lot easier. If you don't soften it, it will take you forever to mix and mix and mix because it's not soft enough to mix throughout. So first thing we're going to do, I need to get a bowl and we are going to measure the dry ingredients. One thing I got with my bowl is this. It is a sifter. So I'm going to sift my dry ingredients too as well. So as I put them into the bowl, I'm going to put them into the sifter. So I don't have to do another step. Don't forget when you're measuring certain ingredients, especially something like flour, you do need a spoon. So spoon, level, and then dump. Okay, so remember towards the beginning when we talked about chocolate chip cookies, we talked about spooning, leveling. So we're going to spoon some flour into our measuring cup. And we want to make sure it's heaping over the top. I'm going to put it right in here. Make sure it sits out a little bit. Then I need 2 1/4 a cup. So I'm going to measure another cup. I need some Christmas music going. I should turn on some Christmas music. So level that off. So for me growing up, I guess we didn't really make Christmas cookies together. I started making Christmas cookies when I really got into baking and cooking and things like that. So for me, this is something that I've kind of developed as a tradition. Maybe you and your family have done this for a while. Maybe you always make Christmas cookies together. I'm going to do it right about there. I am also going to add 1/2 a teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm going to get my baking powder. this after I sift all of this. So what this is doing when you're sifting is you're getting I don't know if you can see this. You're getting all of the lumps out. So if you can see in there, see all those little lumps? Oh, now I got flour on my computer. You don't want those lumps when you are mixing the cookies, so we're just going to take those out. Clean up my mess. It's a little bit crazy. And then I'm going to also add in, like I said, that 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cream together my butters and sugars. So I need 3/4 a cup. So if I have 1 stick of butter, how much more do I need to add if I need 3/4 a cup? So if you answered 1/2 a stick, you are correct. Congratulations. Oh, I'm going to cut on the line. That's how you measure it. Cut down the line. So I have 3/4 a cup in there, and then I need 3/4 a cup of sugar. Sugar. Now whenever we measure sugar, we're going to need to scoop and then level. So I'm going to need another knife because I used that other one. So I have 1/4 here. I'm just going to do 3 of these. So if I measure 3 of these, that equals 3/4 a cup. What is another way to measure it? So what other size of measuring cups could you use? So if you answered, how many did I put in there? I think it was 2. I'm gonna go with 1 more, because you can never have too much sugar, right? I mean, they are called sugar cookies. I think that was 3. Oh well. So if you answered 1/2 a cup to that last question, well, the 2 questions ago about what's another measuring cup that you could use. So if you used 1/4 of a cup and 1/2 a cup, that it will equal 3/4 of a cup. Alright, so we're going to cream these babies together. Cream. Oh look, it's not working because I didn't plug it in. There we go. So we're going to cream the butter and sugar together. Alright, I'm just going to clean up my mess a little bit here. So I'm just going to increase the speed. It smells nice in here. The next part that we're going to do is we're going to add 1 egg. And we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So I'm going to get a little cup so I can measure that right now. So whenever you crack an egg, remember, crack it on a flat surface. Pull apart your cracks I'm going to show you what it should look like. Your butter and sugar mixture should be pretty white almost. So you want almost like a white texture to your mixture. What you're doing is you're whipping air into that, and so you're creaming it together so that they bake more easily. So I have my egg and my vanilla. I am going to add this to that mixture, the butter and sugar mixture. I'm going to lock my mixer and I'm going to turn it on low. Whenever you're mixing together the egg into whatever recipe, you want to make sure that you don't mix it too much. So I'm actually going to grab a spatula. And make sure that I scrape down the sides so it incorporates very well into this mixture. And then I'm going to lock my mixer again and turn it back on. So I'm going to increase the speed just a little bit. And that looks good. Then I'm going to slowly incorporate my sifted ingredients. Alright, all done. And lock that mixer again. And slowly, it will become cookie dough. Now, under my suggestion, I would not eat this plain. It is still cookie dough. So there still is raw egg in this. I would not eat it plain because raw eggs can make you sick. So, that is my suggestion. You are at home. You know what you can do though, is if you like cookie dough, if you like to eat it, you can make this recipe and then not add the egg. And it's perfectly safe to eat it plain. Alright, I am going to take this off. I'm just going to scrape out all of the dough so I get all of my Christmas cookies, my sugar cookies. So what we're going to do on Thursday is Thursday or Friday, I will show you how to make the icing as well. And then what we will do is we will ice them in class. So I will be doing the icing of the cookies live in class. So a live demo of specific ways to design your cookies with the icing that you have. So here is our dough. Yum. Looks amazing. So I'm going to take a little bit of flour, fling it with a little bit of your wrist. I need to clean the floors anyways later, so. And then I'm going to plop it down on my table. thing I'm going to do, sprinkle some on top. Get my rolling pin. So making Christmas cookies or making sugar cookies during Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate is really something that has become really fun for me because you can be so creative how you decorate a cookie. Now in your recipe it'll say to do it in 2 different editions. You can, today what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll it out. Now the key as is in the recipe, it says roll out to 1/4 of an inch thick. You want your dough to be about 1/4 of an inch thick because that is going to allow you to have a chewy sugar cookie. So one thing that I like for my sugar cookies is that they're nice and chewy, and nice icing, that flavor of the icing, and then you bite into it in a soft, chewy cookie. That's my favorite. The key is going to be to have about 1/4 of an inch thick. That way you keep it nice and soft. If you prefer crispy cookies, I would make them thinner, and maybe even if you kept them this thickness, you would keep them in the oven a little bit longer so that they're crispy. But most people I know like a chewy cookie, so I tend to do that. Including my mother, which my mother likes it like that, then that's how it's going. Alright, so I'm going to move all of my ingredients out of the way. And I'm going to put my pan down. So what you're going to want to have ready is your pan, the Silpat on it, or some parchment paper. So parchment paper is going to be that white stuff. I would not put wax paper on it. I would not put tin foil on it. Those sorts of things will probably stick to the bottom. If you want to spray some cooking spray on your cookie sheet, you can do that. The one thing I will say is it will create a crispy edge around your cookie. So just be aware that that's going to happen. So I have a lot of different shapes. I'm just going to start cutting them out. Whenever you cut them out, try to cut them out as close to the corner as possible so that you save enough room for the sides around the edges. So I'm going to have a tree here. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to use the least amount of dough possible. So that you can save it. Because then you're going to have to keep on rolling them out. Mittens. I guess you have to have 2 pairs, right? Then we'll make a star. I want to also show you. So I have also a snowflake, and I'm going to actually make more cookies, but I got these from IKEA. It's Moosin. I call them Moosin. So my best friend lives in Maine, and kind of a joke. So here's my moosin. He's running through the snowed forest. Most people I have met in Maine have never seen a moose. That's where moose are. Did you know that if you live in Maine and you are learning to drive, they tell you when you see a moose, hit it straight on. Do not try and swerve, because the moose will kill you if you try to, well, no, opposite. Swerve and don't hit the moose, because if you hit the moose will kill you. So, if you run into it, it's a bad thing. So they tell you to try to avoid it at all costs, because moose are actually massive. They're huge. So here's my moosin. I also have a little squirrel. Here's my squirrel. And then a little bear. All of the woodland creatures have come out to play. Oh, here's a fox. Have you guys ever seen a fox? I definitely have seen them in different places I've lived. Here's a snail, and then we have a hedgehog. They're so cute. I love them. So I'm gonna do probably a squirrel right now. He fits right here. Squirrel down. Maybe I'll do a snail. Now be very gentle with your dough too as well, because it is very soft, super soft. Okay, so there are my Christmas cookies so far. I'm going to continue to cut them out. You should preheat your oven to 350 once you're finished, and then you can pop these in the oven for about 11 to 14 minutes. Watch them. If they get a little bit of crispy on the edge, like a little bit of darkness, brown really is what you're looking for, like a brown on the edges, you want to make sure you pull them out right away, because you don't want these to get too hard. You want a really soft cookie. If it gets really dark, it will start to get hard. Okay, so you want to make sure you pull them out right away once you start seeing that. It's okay to have a little bit of brownness, but otherwise, just make sure that you watch them in your oven, because everybody's oven is going to be a little bit different. So you're going to bake them and then take them out. I would put them on a cool sheet, like a cooling sheet, a cooling rack, or just a paper, not a paper towel, but a hand towel or something like that. Whatever you have on hand. And then what we're going to do next, after on Thursday, Friday, like I said, is we're going to make the icings. So we'll make the icings, and then we will decorate our cookies. So, all right. I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.